And if there is a hope on the spiritual journey, people say the hope is to awaken. And my job is to show you that you've never been asleep. So there's the fun game that we're going to play. But the hope is that you will enjoy the experience of you to the degree that I'm enjoying my experience of you right now. That's my hope. It's for you to enjoy you and to celebrate yourself as the truth of life. And no matter how you feel, no matter what you think, no matter what situation you're in, that's just the momentary way in which life's decorating itself. It's all included. It's all a part of the select all experience. It's all okay. And it's okay when we give ourselves permission to just stop and just to start to notice something a little deeper about things. Beyond opinion, assumption, belief. Because the wacky thing about the universe is that everything that you value as a belief or an assumption or an idea, whether you assumed it yourself, you were taught it by others, or you learned it in a book, the universe will say yes to that, and it will create a life where you will gather all the evidence to support that belief. The universe will give you all of the resources to confirm whatever you value. And if what you're valuing is a possibility, you'll see that that possibility is possible. Only in your world of experience. And you can be in alignment or believing a big possibility, but even the biggest acreage of land will eventually have a fence, which means it will just be the biggest prison. And my hope is that you don't live in any prison whatsoever. Because you can take on a belief. You can listen to anyone talk conceptual spirituality, and you can say, oh, I believe that, and you start to find evidence, and you think it's true. In this universe, everything's possible. But the possibilities have nothing to do with truth, meaning the possibilities don't equate to truth. The truth is what allows all possibilities to exist. So the source of all possibilities is the truth. Possibilities don't define the truth. So what we do in our egoic spiritual existences is we try to find a possibility that leads us to truth. And it doesn't work. The closest you can get is to think you're almost there. And you can almost be there for 65,000 years. For 10,000 lifetimes, I'm almost there. And at least on the freeway, the suggestion of almost getting there makes you feel like you're actually getting somewhere. Oh, 2/3 of a mile, 1/4 of a mile. But on the spiritual journey, you can be that close forever. Because you're going down the road of possibility, and that life will only confirm that possibility. And that journey of any possibility will never lead you to being without the possibility. That's why you never get there. Because you have to be able to open yourself up to a level of sincerity and truth that offers a teaching that unravels the need for itself. If there's any spiritual practice, it is only those things that unravel the need for the practice. So if there's any practices we're doing, the question is, does your practice lead to the end of practicing, or is it just endless practice? Oftentimes a teacher in the olden days of like a seeker going to the top of a temple and meeting with a master will sense the egoic conditioning in the seeker. And from a master's point of view, that blocks sincerity and innocence. So the teacher will give a practice that is absolutely to guarantee failure. So through the failure of the practice, the seeker will actually wear out the egoic seeking, and the innocence will rise to the surface. And when that person is in a state of innocence and has been broken down enough through the failure of a practice they're trying to accomplish, then they're ready to see the truth. But I'm not here to play that game with you. I'm here to show you an easier way of just experiencing yourself directly. And each and every time we come together, we just approach it from different points of view and experience things from the heart of the matter. And we can talk about mind and all of the things that it does, but really this journey has nothing to do with the mind at all. It has nothing to do with the mind. Because the mind is an expression of the truth. And when you start to see life from the perspective of truth, the truth has no concern or problem with mind. And oddly enough, only a thought called mind calls a thought called mind a thought called mind. So this is a very ironic journey the spiritual path is. We're at a certain place in your journey when you start to go into the deeper realms, nothing is as it ever seems. And everything that got you here isn't what you take with you any step further. And it's not for me to try to nullify your sincerity or to take away from what has led you here or to make you feel like it's been purposeless. It got you exactly here. And now that you're here, different rules apply. Your old spiritual information was a key that opened your front door, but now we locked your front door and we walked out for a journey. And we can't assume that key is going to open up every other door. Every door is opened by a different key. So we have to approach this stage of the journey totally differently. And it's so much more simple than you can understand. And life will let you know how simple it is because any other approach will lead you to failure. And failure isn't to let you know you're not good enough. Failure is to let you know that doesn't work anymore. That teaching is expired. That beautiful, wondrous teaching no longer applies. It served you well and now it's done. So failure is a wonderful teacher. But when you make it about the personal will of your self-worth, no, I can do it. I really am going to try again and do it. Okay. It's only going to break down what undermines the simplicity of innocence. So if we can learn how to embrace the innocence of ourselves and see something so much more immediate than we've ever seen before, then we don't have to turn life into an obstacle course. We don't have to turn life into a way of trying to prove the worth that only you are withholding from yourself. That we don't have to turn it into a journey of enlightenment, because that makes it seem like something up ahead is going to happen to you. Enlightenment's a very strange word. If anything, it is the spontaneous ability to live in a completely liberated state. To be liberated, to be free. But those that are totally free are totally free of ideas of enlightenment. So it's not ironic. So by pursuing enlightenment, we confine ourselves to that which you'll never be free from. And as soon as life tries to free you of that, we can I don't know, I don't want to let go of that. So it's a very much a push-pull kind of a thing. Life is trying to free you of the one thing you're afraid to let go of, and by letting go of it, you're going to find everything that you're trying to earn. So we have to kind of see the constant theme of irony in all